holistic care products, as well as our Higher Inspiration candle collection. Visit us at kd-naturals.com today, where our products are inspired by the Most High and handmade with love.
Rise and shine to the morning light. Sister MJ brings the truth so bright. Health and nature in every sound. Feel the rhythm, let's get unbound. From our higher we get our power. Every herb, every healing flower. Sister MJ shows the way. Naturally living every day. Naturally you, naturally free, naturally living as God meant to be. Breathe the air that's fresh and pure. Nature's bounty is the cure. Sister MJ shows what's real in every word and every meal. From the mountains to the sea, every breath is harmony. Feel the beat and feel alive. With Sister MJ we thrive. Grains and fruits in every bite.
Shalom,
Feel the energy, feel the light. Harmony in every part. Naturally with all your heart.
Shalom, everyone. Shalom. Gone. 2 weeks. It's been a while, but I'm back, and we've got a lot to catch up on. Are you ready? I hope so. I hope you're ready. Welcome back. Welcome back. Shalom, KK. Shalom.
That's fresh and pure.
It's so good to be back. It's
is the cure. Sister MJ shows what's real.
Shalom, Sister Kim.
From the mountains to
Shalom, shalom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to be back. 2 weeks, and I'm refreshed. My peace was just so peaceful. I preserved it every day, outside, walking, smelling the flowers, enjoying that heavenly breeze from the Rawak, and getting the sun, of course, and vitamin C, vitamin C, which we all need. Shalom, shalom, shally, Sister Kim. Shalom, Sister Kanas. Shalom, Esteline and Arapika 2000. Shalom, shalom. It's good to be back. I hope you all had a great 2 weeks. I don't know what you did, but I hope it was good for you. Last week, 2 weeks ago, last show, let's say, we did Out of the Mouths of Babes. I hope you enjoyed that with my special guest, Elora Edmonds. She was quite a wealth of information. We got great feedback, had great views. That was great. We've got to get our viewership up so that I can stay on the air. So I hope you invite somebody. Every week, invite somebody. We need to really get the men on for this month. We have 4 weeks left in July, and we are going to focus on men and their health. So our topic is going to be the way we were, the history, his story of men's health. Okay? And we are going to do it the way that we do here, Naturally You. We're going to start with the feet and we're going to come up, right? And remember, in the beginning, how the Bible started, right? In the beginning. In the beginning, in this wonderful book, this is my KJV with the Apocrypha Bible. And in the beginning, a lot happened. We were created to live forever, and eternal life was what the plan was. But there were a few kinks along the way that kind of had us pivot. The Most High had to pivot and give us another narrative. And tonight we want to take a look at how we were since we changed our trajectory on living forever and righteousness to a life of unrighteousness, sin, degradation, and a whole lot more. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready to participate as well, because in the beginning, and you all know the story, God took 6 days to create, and on the sixth day, He created our wonderful man, our rib, our leader, our head, and we are part of His rib, I should say, and we have that narrative from the greatest book ever written. This is the number one bestseller forever and ever and ever in any bookstore. In all out of all books, this is the number one seller. And the Bible, the number one seller in the world. On all praises to the Most High for that, because this is our history book. And tonight, again, we're talking about the way we were, His-Tory of men's health. And here at Naturally You, we dwell with the Most High, and we're going to pull some information out of here. And I hope that you can take notes. My goal is, because this is a 4-week program here, the specialty on men's health, we can, at the end, maybe next month sometime, put it all together in a document, and we can put it on our portal. And if they want, I don't know if our producers, you'll want to give it something like a $5, $10 charge, but they have a guide, a footprint that they can look to and how to take care of themselves moving forward. I'm hoping we can get that together. And let me know your feedback if you all think that that's something that would be worth it to you or not. And this is not just for your husbands, this is for fathers, sons, uncles, grandfathers, any man that you know who can benefit from a healthier, natural lifestyle. You know that the Most High created man first, and we want to focus on man because a lot of times we don't give him enough love, and we want to give him a lot of love here tonight. So let us look at our temple, right? Shalom, Allison. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome back. Hope if you have a spouse, all of you who are listening, you have your spouses in the room with you. And shout out to July. Happy July, because that's my birth month. All right. And yes, it's hot. It's the hot summer. And we are going to look at our men, because most of our men should be hot in our eyes. I think it's really beautiful that as women, we feel comfortable enough to compliment a man. Some people never give compliments, and some men may not know how to take compliments either, just the same as women. But we need to get used to that, because it's important that we lift each other up. We don't want to press them down. The world does that enough. We want to lift them up. without lying, righteously, right? All right, so let's look at our body. For the next 4 weeks, we have the 10th, which is today. We are going to start with the male body. We are going to look at our feet, right? Because at the feet is where death begins. And if we wait for righteousness and immortality, we want to start where the death begins, and that is our feet. And if you go back and look at that picture, I'm going to break it down into 4 segments for you. We are looking at the man's feet, and we are going to look at the thigh, the calves and the thighs. Then we're going to look at the major part of our body from the groin all the way up to the shoulders. And then lastly, we're going to look at the head. And as the man is our head, we're going to look at that last. Now, we do have tendons and bone connection, collagens in between the connections, like between the foot and the ankle and the calves. We have the tendons there, that ankle joint area. Then we have our the hip bone connecting to our torso, right? Then we also have our neck and all the muscles and tendons and vessels connecting there. Because when you think about that neck, it's very important because it connects that brain, what's going on up here, to the various organs, and it speaks to our body overall. So please get your men, fathers, sons to join us for this is probably the first ever in history of our show. And I don't know about what else is out there, but I'm hoping that we are going to get some information that we can use here. All right. So looking back in history, the way we had Adam, the strong, masculine man, the masculine man. Yes, very handsome and everything. And yes, he was a black man. Yeah, just saying. And he had 2 sons. On the 6th day he was created. And I believe it was later that day Eve was created. And so they came together and created Cain, who was the eldest, and then Abel, right? And Cain ended up, because he gave the wrong sacrifice to the Most High, he got a little jelly, and his jealousy brought him to murder. And when I want to do a comparison here, because Adam was created in all his fineness, and he was given the authority to rule and over all the animals, the birds of the air, and everything on the earth. And then he came together with his wife, and they had Cain. Cain, when he realized that he did something wrong, he let that rise up in him. And again, what the anger and the hatred, the murder that came up in him was due to the fall, where we had Eve take a bite out of that fruit that she was told by Adam and Most High not to, but she was beguiled by Satan, and that's the enemy that we're up against every day in the world today. He wants to be like the Most High and go to the side of the north. So we then want to look at how Adam was, total dominion, fine as wine, what I would call eye candy, great eye candy, right? And then we had the fall. We had the murder, the blood spilling out, and the earth crying out. Then as we go along, they had another son after that named Seth, and they had sons and daughters. Then we have, as we move along, we have Abraham, then we have Isaac, then we have Jacob, then we have Israel. And then we have Israel, and then we have Jacob. And then we have Joseph, 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 We have Jacob, right? We have Esau in there as well. And Jacob held on to Esau's heel. Again, healthy, virile men that were put on the earth to rule the earth. And if we look at our men today, some of them are healthy, some of them are not. And our goal is to give them resources and information that can get them where they need to be. Because if we are going to be in the wilderness, if we are going to be in shape, we need to know what's going on in our body. All right. Esau was the outdoor guy. Jacob was the tent maker. We have Samson, strong. He had beautiful locks, never shaved his head. And what happened to him? He was beguiled by Delilah and told his innermost secrets that a razor had never touched his head. Woo! Woo! Now that's eye candy. Anybody else agree with me? Say aye. Right, so we have our male here. They have the muscles and everything. And yes, we want them healthy. We want them to stay healthy. They want us to always look good. We want them to always look good as well. We want them to have those muscles. We don't want that big belly. We don't want the aches and the pains. We don't want the bad feet. We want health. If you look at the word healthy, it is heal and then it's thy. And let's add self to that. So we need to heal thyself. And then let's take a look now at our feet and our toes. Right? Let's look at our feet and our toes. Now, most of you will probably say, oh, it's just the foot. But no, I need the other picture, please. I need the one where it describes a different part of the feet. We want to know the toes, show you where the toes are. We should know that. And then we want to know the heel. We want to know all the parts of the foot. That's, this is not the right one. We'll talk about this later on. Here we go. Okay. So on the foot, we have the toenail. We have the big toe. We have a little toe. We have an instep, which is important for us as we walk. Some people are born with a flat foot, and therefore they don't have that arch in there. Okay. We have the heel. Then we have the ankle. We have the Achilles tendon and the bridge, that upper part of our foot. We also have that long toe in the middle there, right? And then we have the ring toe, as we have, if we look at our hands, we have the ring finger. Well, we have a ring toe. We have a middle finger, like we have the middle toe. Then we have the long one that's next to the thumb, the thumb or the big toe. Now, we all know that if we didn't have a big toe, we would not be able to balance. We wouldn't be able to stand properly. We'd fall over. The Most High made us very special. He made us beautifully. And there are certain characteristics that we have that we need to appreciate. And that one is the big toe. When I fractured my tibia, I had a serious appreciation for my legs and my knee and how or everything that we do, the simple things like standing up, getting out of the bed, getting into a car, taking a shower, sitting on the toilet, getting up from the toilet. These are things we take for granted. But without those feet, we can't do all those things that we need to walk, run. We need to make note of that. So our feet and toes, like our hands and our fingers, it represents the entire physical and mental constitution and condition of our body. Now, while corresponding to various parts of our major organs and their functions, they represent our strength, our feet and our toes. Now, the feet represents the organs located in the middle area of our body, which we will go to in week 3. The areas of the body like our liver, which is the most used organ, our gallbladder, our spleen, our pancreas, our kidney, and our bladder. And then, of course, we have our reproductive organs and all that in there as well. The legs and feet represent our vertical relationship, vertical, which is up and down. It represents our vertical relationship with each other and, of course, the Most High, heaven. We can bend at our knees because of those feet. Our feet size, excuse me, uh, it's estimated over 75 miles we will walk by the age of 50. If you're over 50, you alone can add that number up and imagine how far you've gone, how far you've traveled. But our feet size is in proportion to the size of our body. I know I always said I have such big feet, but I'm 6 feet tall. So if I had a size 5 foot or a size shoe or a size 7 shoe or a size 8 shoe, I wouldn't look right. So my 10 or 11 is in proportion to my height. We have arches. We have certain characteristic of the feet, like we talked about. Like I showed you, the arches, the higher arches, actually is due more to our contracted muscles, where it's high. We have a higher arch, which is allowing for us to actively function on our feet. Now, many of us have different issues on our feet. We have different colors. We have the sole might have some issues. No matter what nationality you are, your feet are probably going to be a shade of variation of white. And looking at that picture there, you can see the various areas. And if we can zoom in closer on that, you can see the different parts of it and how we can identify. Let's talk through this so that we can make sure we identify what needs to be focused on here for us, okay? Let's see. So we have some people that have plantar fasciitis, which that has to do with the heel of our feet. And if you're looking at the picture, you'll see it goes in and tells you a little bit more about it, what the flat foot is, what plantar fasciitis is, and we're going to talk about how we can work on those issues. And then the third one there, you see the blisters and how that is on the right beneath the big toe there on the side of the foot. Then you have the diabetic ulcer, which is showing there on the bottom of the sole of your foot. Then we have verrucous, and that is the area of the flat, rough skin, and that's like a callus as well. Then you have athlete's foot, which is a fungus, and we have an ingrown toenail. Now, these are most of the issues you'll find on men's feet. And then we also have the diabetic foot, which can somewhat have discoloration. We've got the corns and the calluses. The calluses are typically on the bottom or on the side near the corn, or you can have them on the top of the corn on the top of your toes as well. And that fungal infection is something that we will talk about as we dive in deeper tonight. There's also bunions that happens on the side of the big toe there, between the big toe and the fuller part of your toe, of your foot, excuse me. You'll see that bunion there as well. And some people have gout. That's near where that bunion area is. And that gout is typically due to acidic. You have a large amount of acidity in the body, and it goes and metastasizes down there in the foot. Something simple we can do for that when we have gout is go and use baking soda in water and drink that. And what it does, it will make the body alkaline, and you won't have so much pain that's associated with gout. Okay? Now, um, excuse me. We also have problems with the feet, tingling, which is burning and a pain in the foot. You have a change in color, and based on your skin color, it might be darker than normal. And you may need to look under a closer light, a brighter light. But that has to do with if you had a fever, it might be red with the temperature change, or if you bruised it, or if you broke or sprained the ankle. Then you also have cracked skin, dried skin on your feet. Some of them, my son used to say, my feet were like cement. And he's terrible, I know. But anyway, what we have to do for that is just take the pumice stone, and, like when you go get a pedicure, they take the pumice stone and they scrub that away for you and make it nice and soft. So that is something that we can do as well. And men don't tend to take care of this. They tend to just let it go and let it go. So it's important because the Most High said they shouldn't be alone, and they need a woman to take care of these things. So it's up to us to mention it, make sure we engage them and let them know, okay, we need to take some time to go get a pedicure together if you don't want to do it yourself, or just give that foot some love. We need to give that foot some love. And let's go back and look at that some more. Then we have loss of hair on your toes and feet and lower legs. And I did not know, but doing this study, when you lose the hair on your toes, feet, and on the leg, it's a issue of something going on, a sign within the body. And ladies, men, understand what I'm talking to the men, focusing on the men, but the same thing may apply to the women as well. All right. So going back to our picture there, let's see. Going back, what else do we need to go over here on this diagram? Then we have the fungus infection. You've heard of athlete's foot, and you have it's usually on the foot between the toes, and then we have the ingrown toenail, which is sore and it blisters, and it's an ulcer actually, or maybe the callus is more of an ulcer. But all of these are things that happen in the male's feet, and a lot of it in the women's feet as well. We didn't take sides. We're just going to talk about the whole thing, right? And with that, we have different things. The peeling of the skin. There's athlete's foot, the bunions, we talked about plantar fasciitis, the heel spur. There's also the gout, ingrown toenail. There's the mallet or hammer toe, when you have a real toe, the toe kind of does a curve on you. Then you have the fungal nail infection. We have the plantar wart, which is different from plantar fasciitis. We also have the stone bruise. and a flat foot. We have Morton's neuroma, which I believe is some kind of like a cancerous thing that can happen. We have sesamoiditis, and we have diabetic neuropathy. All of these are 17 things that can happen to the male feet. These are common, according to Wikipedia. Those are common, 17 common things that happen with the male feet. And we want to look at this in more detail. I want to make sure we are covering what they need to do and give them remedies, not just talk about it. So there's causes to the itchy foot, dry skin. Women tend to put lotion on their skin, men may not, and that causes dry skin. Then you have itchy feet. We also have the fungal infections, eczema, which can happen all over the body, or it can be within the warm areas, within the creases of your arm and behind your knees. We also have psoriasis, which is an issue on the skin, which the skin is our largest organ. If you have chronic liver disease, dis-ease, you will have issues with itchy feet. And then neuropathy is when you have a burning sensation in the feet and in your hands, and that's typically from diabetes. We have contact dermatitis. Again, that's where you go to the dermatologist and you look into what's going on with the skin. But we need to, before we go to the dermatologist, look within, because we have spoken many a times, probably ad nauseum, about reflexology and the sensory glands of our body, and begins at the soles of our feet and in our hands. We also know that the Most High put it on our tongues, and also those reflexology points are in our faces as well. But there's scabies and also kidney disease. These are all the causes of an itchy foot. All right. Then we also have the athlete's foot. And with the athlete's foot, well, let me back up here because I want to make sure I cover this thoroughly and give them sound solutions for the issues. Okay. So if let's look at the top of the foot and the arch of the foot. The higher arches are due to more tightly contracted muscles, allowing for more active functioning of the foot. This condition is caused by a comparatively low intake of liquids, fruits, juices, and other yin foods. Now, Western medicine has failed us. And if you look back in history in the Bible, it was Japheth that received the book of all the healing herbs and everything. And I believe, and if you go through the traditional Chinese medicine or TCM, if you see that, that is something that we need to take a look at, because that's more in line with nature. And the Most High gave us herb yielding fruits and vegetables and seeds. So we will go to those things first before we run to the white coats for a prescription or a synthetic solution. Okay? Now, the lower arches are due to loose muscles and tissues and a slower tendency to be less physically active. So if you take a look at your foot, and if you see you have a flat foot or you have low arches, you're probably not as active as somebody who has a higher arch. That's not to say that it's something against you, but it's just what the body is showing us. Okay? And a higher constitution or consumption of yin foods indicates that issue. So if you have the arch, you eaten more of the fruits and vegetables that our body needs. And if you have a lower, you probably need to look at your diet and see what you can change along the way. Now, we have joint flexibility. The joints of the ankles and the toes should be flexible. Remember, we had last time we met Out of the Mouths of Babes, and Elora Edmonds was talking about how in the morning she wakes up, she stretches in bed, she moves her feet. She showed the different ways she moved her feet. And this all has to do with that joint flexibility, and we want that. Uh, because modern people are losing their flexibility due to the hardening of the arteries. Again, our body speaks. Muscles and joints, which results from overconsumption of foods high in cholesterol and saturated fats. Cholesterol, again, this will come from bad seed oils and not doing the good seed oils or having the good omegas, the 6 and 9 in our body. Flexibility of our feet and toes show not only physical height, lightness, and mobility, but also our mental adaptability. So we need to be able to pivot on our feet as well as pivot in our mental acuity. As our flexibility decreases, our entire lifestyle becomes more rigid and less adaptable to the constantly changing natural and social environment. So if we don't have that flexibility in everything, we are going to have issues. Then we also want to take a look at, and we're going to come back to this emotional pain chart because I find this very interesting, and it has to do with our essential oils. But I want to also look at the protruding ball of the foot. If you take a look at your foot and that ball is where we have that bunion, that is abnormal. That protrusion develops shortly, it can develop shortly after birth or during adulthood. And that is a sign that we will become alone in old age, according to TCM. This condition shows hardness in the middle region of the body, which is what we're going to talk about in week 3 with all our organs, like our stomach, uh, our liver, our pancreas, our spleen. That is showing, the bunion show is kind of indicating what's going to happen in that region of our body. Okay, now it says here that it's in the area of the liver, the stomach, the pancreas, and spleen due to a one-sided diet, which is salt, carbohydrate, salt, protein, fat, and more salt, or the overconsumption of salts and proteins in the body. And it causes a mental rigidity with a tendency to a domination, discrimination, prejudice, and jealousy. Now, this has to deal with the emotional side that we're going to go into from that picture you just saw. So, although those who have these conditions are more active in social life, their mental characteristics often lead to separation from family and friends. Now, I'm not saying this is the gospel. I'm just saying this is what is in the records. And this is what has been studied, and they have archived that needs to be taken, a look needs to be taken at. Okay? You also have some men with duck feet. Their feet go out like this, right? It's like a duck feet. And then you also have the other way when your feet turn in. These are all different signs of what's going on in the body. Now we have different colors of our feet. We have red showing, which arises at the peripheral area of the foot, the toes, or the side or back of the foot. And typically, that is due to expansion of our blood capillaries in these regions, caused mainly by, again, overconsumption of liquid and other yin foods, including the sugar, which we need to stay away from, and the sweets, fruits and juices, soft drinks, sodas, yes, and chemicals, drugs, and medications, right? It shows that the heart and the circulatory system are now overactive or being compromised, right? You may have a faster pulse rate and a rate of breathing that's caused by this. So take a look at the foods you're consuming, or I hate the word diet because it has dye in it, but take a look at what you're eating. Okay? And with a faster pulse rate and breathing, together with overactive kidneys and excretory functions, often including frequent urination, mental loss or clear thinking, and general fatigue is indicated by this. All of this, again, our body speaks, right? If your foot is red in the toes, in that area, that is a cause we need to look at. Then if your foot or toes are purple, now when I say purple, it's not because you had, say, an injury, you twisted your ankle, or you did something to your foot. But the purple color also appears at the peripheral region of the foot. And when I say peripheral, I mean the top region from where the ankle, where it bends to that top region there, or from the middle of the foot on the sole of the foot, the middle up, right? So that is again overconsumption of these foods and drugs and excretory and reproductive issues. If it's purple, okay. Then we have other colors. We have yellow, which is the liver and gallbladder disorders due to the overconsumption of meat, poultry, eggs, fats from both animal and vegetable sources. If it's dark, the foot color is just dark. Like you see diabetics have the feet is just really dark. Then if you look at the normal color from the whole foot, up the thigh, up the leg, the calves and thigh, it is underactive kidney and excretory functions. When we say excretory, we're looking at the lymphatic system because that takes the trash out, the kidney system, and we're also looking at our bowels and how we poop. Okay. Then we have the green. If it's looking green, and if many of you have heard of, there's a foot bath you can take, a detox foot bath. And if the water turns kind of a greenish, it's the spleen, and the spleen is on the left side, behind the waist area, and it has to do with the lymph as well. If you see in green, the spleen and lymph functions as well as the blood circulation are abnormal due to the overconsumption. And that produces fat and mucus inflammation, right? Such as fatty meat, eggs, dairy foods, sugar, white processed foods, refined flour. And this indicates the formation of cysts, tumors, and cancer. So if you're seeing any greenish, now I see Sister Tracy there. Sister Tracy, Shalom. I know you were talking about you were taking that foot bath. I think she bought a device and she does it at home now. But we were talking about if the color is showing up green, that's that lymph, that's the spleen. And that's an area that we need to take a look at and make sure we're not developing cysts, tumors, or any kind of cancer. That's why I want to go back and stress our reflexology, because we need to touch our feet. We need to touch the top, press into our feet. If you feel any pain, that means we need to get our favorite oil above all oils, our castor, and use that to massage the feet. If you do have cysts, you need to, along with the castor oil, you need our iodine that helps break up the cyst or the tumor. Put that on first, let it dry, then you put the castor oil on top, massage that in. And after a while, you keep doing it, it will get it. You may start off with it hard, and then it's going to get softer and wiggly, like it's breaking up, and then it's going to become mushy, and then it'll go away. And that's all you need to do. But again, knowing the color will let us know what's going on. And then we have the white. Now, when it's white, it also is the heart and circulatory issues. Okay, the intestines and the digestive functions are underactive due to a constriction of the heart and the blood. Again, that's circulation. Yes, of the vessels and the capillaries. This is caused by overconsumption of animal. And when I say animal, understand that I eat a lot of animal meat. I love being a carnivore. I love having my meat, but I do grass fed because I know that in the conventional meat in the groceries, and especially at the lower end store, they're shooting uh, um, steroids into the animals. The chicken wings that we love, I don't touch chicken wings. The other day I had some for the first time in a long, long time because of that very fact. If I don't know where they're coming from, I'm not eating them. I don't care if I'm out and everybody else is having it. I'm not having it because I know what it can do to me. So that the cause of overconsumption of animal fats, the salts, and the drinks, the sodas, the wine, the beer, these create anemia, or which is anemia is the blood, your blood levels are not up, the iron in the blood, and the intestinal region is also affected by this. So now let's take a look at this foot, because we have uh, calluses, we have the abnormal colors, which we just went over, right? We have that picture that we just showed earlier is the light green color arises in the area corresponding to the location of a kind of cancer. Let's look at that. Because if you see the A is over there by the arch and the sole of your feet, going back to the heel, the spleen, pancreas, and the lymph, as well as Hodgkin's disease. And if you look at the B, which is on the top of the foot, let's look at that brownish color photo of the foot. You'll see as cancer in the stomach area. These are indicators. Yes, that's it. Excellent. Thank you. That is cancer in the stomach area. If you look at B, okay, at the top there of the foot. And then if you look at C, it's cancer in the gallbladder area. And of course, D is cancer in the bladder, uterus, ovaries, or the prostate areas. Again, I want to stress, family, our body speaks, but it can speak and it could be a foreign language if we don't know what it means. And we are going to focus in these next 4 weeks on understanding how our male history came about. Remember, when we were made, it was for immortality. So none of this would have happened. We wouldn't even have to talk about the way we were. But because of the fall that we had and experienced and are going through today, we want to make sure we understand what is going on. Tune into your body. Look at your body once or twice, 3 times a week. We always rush, 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 rush. Chaos, hurry, hurry. We need to tune in. All right. Then we have different length of toes and all that. I found a, a picture of how, based on how your feet look, it tells your history, what nationality you are. I found this very interesting. And I don't know if you know what nationality you are. Look at your feet and tell us in the chat if that seems to look like it's accurate. Because I know for my foot, I that's pretty accurate for me. So it's amazing how the body really speaks to us. Now, if you have peeling skin, oh, let's go to the soles of the feet, because the soles of the feet tells us a whole lot too. If we take a look at the reflexology photo, okay, when certain areas of the sole shows hardening or tension, calluses, anyone, or stress, it's just tightness, your feet feel tight, and you have pain. Anytime there's pain in the body, that means the blood is not flowing like it should. So we want to make sure we understand that, get our castor oil and get to working reflexology. And we have tools that will help you. You saw the socks that we have that it shows you what goes with it. Then you have your little tools you can use to massage the areas, go in and massage, and then you can press in and work between the toes with this little tool. And it helps you get in those little areas, because if you look at the toes, we have what that has corresponds to the eyes, it corresponds to the brain. And then if you go further on down, you've got the lungs, you've got the liver, you've got the kidneys, you've got the gallbladder. All is being shown. And take a look at the heel. A lot of that is the rectum. We have the plantar fasciitis there at the foot, and we have the anus there. That's an area, if you having any bowel issues, massage the end of the foot. A lot of people have a lot of callus. The men have a callus build up there. You can get a pumice stone and put your some a scrub on there, or just sugar, and massage that and get that callus down so it goes away. They have nice soft feet. Again, the body is speaking to us. Now, if you look at the top part there under the toes, that has to do with the heart, the stomach. If you look at the third, let's go from the end. The kidneys at the pinky, then you have the lungs, you've got the stomach, you've the heart, and then the big toe is the spleen and the pituitary. Okay, they also have the hypothalamus. Then we also have the kidneys in the middle. When the foot, you go into and come up to that point there, that's the kidneys in that middle area. Then we've got the liver. We have the stomach and the pancreas and the abdominal. And if you see, that's in the middle. If you look at the tongue, if you recall the other show we did on the tongue, when it's called Just Say Ah, on the middle of the tongue is where these areas reside as well. So we have options, we have ways to look at it. Now, if you've got the athlete's foot, that's a candida yeast overgrowth that's going on in the feet. And typically you have men or women who drink beer. They love beer, and their hands are kind of clammy, their feet are kind of clammy and wet, the shoes smell. It's a yeast overgrowth. So we want to make sure we address that as well. Then let's look at solutions now. What can you do? And I have 5 minutes. I hope you all will forgive me. I've been gone 2 weeks and I have a lot of information. I've got to get this out for the man's feet because we've got to make sure we give them solutions. So the athlete's foot, you can use licorice. You can do 6 teaspoons of powdered licorice to 1 teaspoon or to one powdered licorice to a cup of boiling water, 1 cup of boiling water. You simmer it for 20 minutes. You strain it, cool, and then you apply it to the inflamed toe 3 times a day. Now, most men are not going to do this. Most won't. But again, we are dealing with preventative. So we do this and make the solution, have it there. If they do it twice a day, it's better than nothing, right? Then we have our tea tree oil. And that you can put in warm water, 2 to 3 teaspoons. Soak it for 15 minutes, or you can add golden seal, chamomile, or calendula, which is from calendula is from our what is that marigold plant flower. Or you can have ginger tea, 20 minutes. Use 1 teaspoon of ginger powder. You boil or let it steep 10 to 15 minutes. And then you drink that 3 times a day. Or you can just swab it with your cotton ball on the foot from the leftover tea. This will help with the athlete's foot, which the root cause, yeast overgrowth, right? Then we also have strawberries and blueberries, which are packed with vitamin C, because we're working from this way, we're doing it from the inside out. Those other 2 remedies were from the outside in. This is from the inside out. You do your strawberries, your blueberries, which are full of vitamin C. And you can also do zinc. Zinc will take your zinc daily, about at least 50 milligrams. That will help with that as well. Wear all cotton socks. Polyesters in everything these days. You've got to search out for the socks. And men don't know the difference. Most men, I'm just generalizing, right? So it's up to the women, or your sister, if sisters, you have brothers, let them know they need cotton socks that allows their feet to breathe. We need them to breathe. Okay? And they need to wash their feet 2 times daily if they have these issues. Then the bunions and the heel spurs, those they show up on x-rays. Those are calcium deposits. And calcium, I would rather you get it from your food instead of taking a supplement, because it's very iffy in the body later. But if you would have spurs, heel spurs, or bunions, we want to look at how much calcium you, not from a natural source. Now, if you're taking something like diatomaceous earth, that's great, because that's food grade, of course, because it acts like calcium. When the body doesn't have sufficient calcium, it will go in and do what it needs to do. Now, as my guest last time we met, Elora, says, you need to stretch before rising. Those bunions and the heel spurs, stretch the feet, stretch the toes, circulate this way and that way, inside and out, up and down, because it's the best way to take care of those issues. We also have capsicum, which is from our peppers, our hot peppers, right? Cayenne pepper. You can get a cream in the pharmacy, and that will help with that heat, and it will help relieve it. There are other things that are out there. There's Tiger Balm and some other creams you can use that will help. Then we also have, we need to increase our vitamin B, and that's, you've heard of niacin or niacin flush. That gets the circulation going. It gets the circulation going. Not everybody needs to be doing it, though. Check with your doctor first. Okay. Shalom, Sister Vivian. Long time. Oh my goodness. Good to see you. And we need to realize that we need more omegas in our life to help. And we're going to go into what we need at the end of this to have our body functioning optimally, what we need to eat from a supplemental standpoint, and then what foods and vegetables we need to do as well. Shalom, Sister Kita, humble servants. Shalom. Okay, then we want to look at corns. Avoid To avoid corns, you can tape your toes. Yes, take a pumice stone and in the shower, in the tub, massage, get that roughness off. Aloe vera you have in the yard, in the garden, in the house, use that. And chamomile tea, take it internally and soften that up because we want to get rid of those corns. And you can go to the white coats and they will tell you, "Oh, this can be healed, this can be cured." Liars. They're forgers of lies, as the scripture says. And if you do it consistently, maybe not so consistently over time, when you're ready to take it seriously, let me say that, you will see results. I can tell you a plethora of issues I've had and how applying these things turned it around. Okay, then you have sprains and strains. Many of us have sprains and strains. Thank you for hanging in with me, you all. We have our best oil in the world right here, castor oil. If you have sprains and strains, you have black and blue where the blood is congealing together. If you put that castor oil on it, you will see it lighten up. It will turn from black and blue to just red. And you keep doing it, it will be like a yellow where it shows you it's healing, okay? Make sure you take care of that because castor oil and oil of oregano will do the same thing. It will break up that pooling of the blood because of your sprain or your strain. Then also flaxseed oil, which is highly anti-inflammatory, works as well for that. You can also do a ginger powder and coconut oil rub. Mix those two together and massage it in that injured area. If you have swelling and stiffness, and it just melts it away. I would wrap it in linen because linen is amazing for the swelling. Because it's anti-inflammatory, it will bring the swelling down. Then if you have stinky feet, oh no, not stinky feet, and their shoes are in our closet, heavens. Okay, we've got a remedy. Okay, we've got a remedy. Not green tea, but black tea. Because of the tannic acid in the black tea, it closes the sweat glands, and it's the sweat glands that causing the stinky feet. So we take 2 tea bags and 2 cups of water, which it starves the odor-causing bacteria, and we're going to let that cook for 15 minutes. We let it cool off and pour it into 2 quarts of water in a basin or something, and soak the feet 20 to 30 minutes. Follow that for like 10 days, and it should go away. But again, we need to take a look at what we're putting in, right? What we are putting inside. Because what we put on the inside, what does it do? It shows up on the outside. And if you break your foot, okay, you've got to go get it reset, cast and everything. The minute that cast comes off, wrap that foot in linen. The inflammation is going to keep going down and down and down. Use the castor oil. And that plantar fasciitis, that's the pain at the bottom of the heel or the foot, or the lower part, the middle of your foot. Make sure that you have proper arch support. Make sure your shoes are supporting you. We love cute shoes. And men, y'all love your sneakers. and you don't support that arch, that's a main cause of that plantar fasciitis. Poor arch support. Okay, so what can you do besides all of that? Let's take a look at the emotional chart now, because a lot of the things that happen has to do with emotion, and our essential oils on our skin being our largest organ, is instrumental in helping us heal. And yes, our men can use essential oils as well. It's not only for uh, us having aromatherapy. It's for the healing, the pain. Okay? Now, take a snapshot of this picture. We are dealing with the feet. You see the bunions there? Okay? It talks about lack of joy. Take a look. Are you happy? What does happy look like for you? Shalom, my op, Jeff Davis. Shalom, how are you? Okay, are you happy? Happiness is important. Some of us, we just go day to day and we rarely laugh. We don't experience true joy. And in order for us to experience true joy and get rid of or not come up with these issues, let's take a look at that emotional pain, because our body holds it. We have other connections there that apply. We have the arthritis, right? We have fractures, and all of it. It tells us bursitis, loss of balance. All of this is the feet. It's the feet. But we need to look at the emotional connection. And doTERRA oils are excellent essential oils. Actually, we have Sister Shannon in the Atlanta body. She is a consultant for doTERRA. Excellent oils that you can use. And in this document, when we pull it all together, we will list what oils you should be using. Arthritis, feeling unloved, criticism, resentment. Are you getting that from people in your life? Maybe you need to change your scenery, find peace, get rid of some people. There are people that need to be in our lives only for a season, not forever. Okay? If you're having bone breaks, fractures, rebelling. I guess that's what I was doing. You know what? I think it's right. Honestly, I was rebelling. Wow, that's deep. Okay, bursitis, repressed anger, inflammation, fear, seeing red. How, anger. How do you handle your anger? Loss of balance, scattered thinking. Loss of balance, it starts in the feet. Right? Sciatica, being hypocritical, fear of money and of the future. Are you a worrywart or overthinker? Something to think about. Sprains, not wanting to move in a certain direction in life. Are you afraid? What's holding you back? Anger, or are you resistant? Who are you resistant against? Is it yourself? That's when we need to drop on our knees and talk to the Father, because He says, all, give Him everything. You can take it, put your all on the altar to Him. We don't need to carry these burdens. We need to leave it. We need to leave it with Him. Stiffness, rigid, stiff thinking, weakness. If you have a lot of weakness in your bones and your joints, we need mental rest. We need vacations. How many of you take a vacation? I took 2 weeks, and my vacation was like a vacation I never had before. I had total peace. I didn't have a bunch of things I wanted to run to. Let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. It was just relaxing. I did things that I wanted to do that felt good. I didn't feel stressed. I didn't feel like uh, I had time to think, to process, to recalibrate, to see how I was going to pivot next. And we all need that. Sometimes we do need to have a vacation that's busy, busy, busy. But at other times, we need to have one where we need to take care of ourselves. All right. Let's see. I hope this was helpful. I've run over. I'm trying to wrap it up by 9:15. And Sister Dawn, you are right on time, my dear, because last time we had Out of the Mouths of Babes, it was our baby theme. And we did a drawing for some forest linen products for the babies, and we had three people submit on that show. We had Dawn Jackson, Sister Dawn, Kim Wiggins, Sister Kim, from Katie Naturals, and then we have Krisha Blessed, and I believe she's related to Sister Kim too. Anyway, we put their names up on the wheel, and the producers are going to spin that wheel, and whoever wins this, I will mail it out to you. Yes, that drum roll, it's here. Let's do it. Spin, please. Sister Dawn, Sister Kim, Krisha, one of you will be the winner. Who will it be? Krisha! Woo! Yes! Krisha, blessed. You are blessed, sis. So you will be getting a burp cloth for the baby. I don't like putting my baby on anybody to hold without one of these to protect them between their skin, their fresh little new skin. And this is linen. It's antibacterial, antifungal. It relaxes them. It has the frequency of 5,000, so it makes them happy. Then you also have the mitt, where you can wash them and bathe them, and mom will put her gentle soap on the baby, and this will give them nice rosy skin because frequency. And then we have the receiving blanket, but it's on steroids because our babies are bigger. This will last them through what, 7 or 8, because it's quite big. And if they have a fever, wrap them up in it. The frequency is 5,000. It will break the fever. With that, my lovelies, it's great to be back. And I missed you all, but then again, I didn't. You know what I mean? I needed that break to recalibrate. But I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'm happy for Krisha. Send me your address to my email. MJ, is it? My producers will give you my email, okay? Because I keep messing it up. Shalom, joyfully chosen. Thank you, Sister Esteline, and I hope you all enjoyed that. Please go back and replay it. I'm not back in the flow yet. It was a little choppy, but go back and replay it, and you'll see that there's a lot of good information there. And we will continue our series, which will be for this month, for the male, the way we were. We were perfection, immortal, and we are now, how we degraded ourselves. But remember, there's a fix. The Most High didn't give us just one herb for one thing. He gave us a herb for many things. And we're going to dive into that and fix a lot of these issues that we have, because we want our men healthy. We want to be able to run into that kingdom, not just jog, right? So let's hit that finish line. Get our men together. Much love, heart to heart, shalom. And it's so good to be back. Shalom.
sunshine to the morning light. Sister MJ brings the truth so bright. Health and nature in every sound. Feel the rhythm, let's get unbound. From a higher we get our power. Every herb, every healing flower. Sister MJ shows the way. Naturally living every day. Naturally you, naturally free, naturally living as God meant to be. Breathe the air that's fresh and pure. Nature's bounty is the cure. Sister MJ shows what's real in every word and every meal.
Until
From
next
the
week.
mountains to the sea, every breath is harmony. Feel the beat
I can't
and
sing,
feel
but I love
alive.
this song.
With Sister MJ we thrive. Grains and fruits in every bite.